Perhaps you feel the same way as you scroll past talented person after talented person online. For many, they might feel inspired to learn how to do or create their own version of the same thing. But if you're like me, perhaps you start to feel more and more worthless. Growing up, I had all the potential to become something really special. Above average reading level, exceptional drawing skills, and limitless creativity. Everyone was always telling me they would look for my name in art galleries, bookstores, and film credits. The irony is, at the time I had no intention of pursuing an artistic career, or any career for that matter. In fact, my only desire was to grow up and get married and run a household. Unfortunately, one skill I did not have was social interaction.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to report you.
And I was devastated to realize I was incapable of handling the dating scene. As I reached adulthood, my prospects were not working out so well, and I quickly realized a career was in order. I laid out everything I was interested in. That was not art.
It's art!
In the hopes that I would make a more realistic pursuit. Culinary arts, baking, anthropology, archaeology, veterinary services, and so on. I settled on zoology, but after a few disastrous years of floundering in college, dealing heavily with severe self-doubts and mental health challenges, I had to start over fresh. I ended up recentering my pursuits on the arts, and I ended up getting an associate's degree in general studies and English. At the time, all the kind words spoken to me over the years by my friends, family, and strangers became the ego and self-confidence I desperately needed to move forward. Perhaps that was okay at the time, when I had never had any self-confidence to speak of. I barely even had any motivation to function as a human being. I mean, getting out of bed alone was difficult. The problem is, my sense of purpose began to merge with the kind words until I believed all these people saw my unique specialness and that I was destined to be a legendary person. Words like, "I can't wait to tell my grandkids I knew you," transformed my simple aspirations of being a housewife and mom who enjoyed doing art for fun into a world-renowned author, director of animated films, and YouTuber, in addition to being a mom and wife. I didn't just want to be world-renowned, I wanted to be legendary. I wanted to be someone who changed people's lives for the better. I wanted to be someone important and impactful. Saying this all out loud is embarrassing. I mean, yeah, it really is. I still can't believe I'm doing this. But it was what drove me forward. I wanted to be this Wonder Woman, knowing full well the mountains of work, effort, risks, and luck for the visions dancing around in my head. There's no way all of this would come about just lazing around dreaming. But something interesting happened. My motivation to pursue and enjoy artistic activities dropped to nothing. And here's why. My new ambitions now required unattainable expectations for myself. After all, if I'm supposed to become a legendary artist who changes the world, that means my work needs to be on the level of great people who came before me. Authors like Tolkien, Beatrix Potter, or C.S. Lewis. Artists like Michelangelo, Botticelli, or Albrecht Dürer. YouTubers like PewDiePie or Mr. Beast, or even film directors like Chris Columbus or Steven Spielberg. In conjunction with scrolling through social media where countless strangers post about their amazing talents in so many disciplines, I began to compare myself to all the masters I was trying to live up to. I was comparing myself to these strangers on the internet who are all competing and struggling to gain a following when their skills are vastly superior to anything I could ever hope to make. I had done myself the ultimate disservice to my own artistic nature. I had robbed myself the joy of creating. Now I was stunted with fear, knowing full well that whatever I chose to draw, paint, write, film, or edit, all that work would always be mediocre. Now I rarely make anything, because there's a part of me that wonders what the point of all of it is. My perfectionism demands everything I produce to be a masterpiece, where failure is out of the question.
Such perfect symmetry! You are amazing! Hey, no. You make me sick! Get away!
As any creative knows, this is a terrible mentality. This is death to any creative venture. Failure is necessary in the creative process. The master has failed more times than the novice has tried. It is difficult to rewire my brain when I have relied on this false sense of purpose to move forward. As I approach my graduation from film school, a great sense of foreboding has gripped me. As I think about life past college, at the ripe age of 26, I have no accomplishments to show for myself. No published books, no artwork at art shows, no short films at film festivals, no YouTube videos with lots of views. And I know this is because I don't have a consistent theme or upload schedule or any quality videos, so yes, I'm sorry.
To show how sorry I am for not uploading, I'm gonna smash 262 toasters.
And of course, no husband, home, or family to speak of. I only have myself to blame for my lack of consistency, to develop my skills, and my complete lack of self-confidence that I'll make anything worthwhile due to ridiculous standards. So, I have been forced to face reality as I consider my upcoming graduation. It pains my altruistic self, who wants to help so many people, but I have had to realize I will never be anyone special or important in the world. My work is painfully mediocre and average. I may have shown promise before, but those days are no more, and that's okay. My intentions with this video was not to complain or whine a woe is me monologue. My point is, it's okay if your talent is mediocre, and I am not saying you shouldn't strive for greatness or seek to improve yourself. By all means, stretch your boundaries, reach for the sun. Whatever discipline you are in, make discoveries, or create things that only you can. Just try not to fall into the trap I did. It's okay to be mediocre. This is me giving you permission to be mediocre. Don't compare your current best with the best of the masters. It's not about competition. No one wins if you suppress yourself from improving your talents. Oftentimes it's because you don't feel ready to dive into new learning experiences because you already know you won't be perfect at it. The reality is, you get better by doing. If you want to make awesome movies, you need to make movies. And those building blocks will help you grow. And guess what? The masters aren't making perfect works every time. Steven Spielberg himself has a bunch of flops. All the wisdom comes back to how my younger self made art. I did it because I enjoyed making it. I didn't add the weight of the world on my shoulders because the art didn't need to be special. I didn't need to make art that would impact a bunch of people. And it was okay if it only impacted me, because I loved it. And from it, I grew. I've tried writing this essay maybe a dozen times, but I couldn't do it without being more open and honest. So I hope I haven't come across as whiny or fatalistic or nihilistic. I hope I have reached anyone else with toxic perfectionism. You all have a little bit of I want to save the world in you. That's why you're here in college. I want you to know that it's okay if you only save one person, and it's okay if that person is you. This has been Rollo Descendant, and this has been your reminder to be okay with mediocrity and failure in yourself, because the mediocrity of today is the developing stepping stone of becoming a master tomorrow. So pick up where you left off. You are going to be spectacular.